Welcome everyone to another interview with double coverage. Today we have Elliot Hoyte of the Boise State Broncos and a former Bristol junior player and GB Youth junior player. All right, thanks for joining us, Elliot.
No problem, nice joining.
So I guess we'll just get talking about how you decided to get over to college in the States and maybe how you got on Boise's radar.
Okay, I started playing football when I was about 16. I started playing for Bristol, and I kind of figured out I was kind of getting pretty good, so I thought, well, I could probably take this a little bit further. It kind of got to a point after I looked at some of the NCAA rules about trying to get to college, and it meant I had to sit a season out in between my championship season I played with Bristol. So I had to take a season. I had to take a season off, and I went out to camp in America. I went to Boise State's camp. I actually had a friend there called Chase Baker, who played D tackle for them, which I knew from rugby from years ago. He's an American guy who came over to a tour in my town. I kind of kept in contact with him, and he said that, oh, if you want to come out as a camp in the summer, our coaches run. So I came out to a camp in the summer, and the coaches knew I was coming because I sent them some game film and said, oh, hey, I'm coming along, like, any chance you can evaluate me? And I didn't ever really expect for them to give me an offer. I went out, had a really good camp, and I came back, and in September, a couple of months later, they offered me a scholarship.
What kind of game film were you offering them? What games did you show?
Luckily, I had a lot of footage of me playing for GB, so I was playing against some pretty good competition. There's some of my club stuff in there from the Aztecs, some of the better competition stuff, because the biggest thing American coaches look for, if they can see you can play well, which was quite clear in my case against a lot of competition, but if you're playing against lesser competition, that's not a good gauge, because you move it's a big step up from playing club football domestically in Britain to coming and playing out in America. So I had a lot of GB stuff, so I played against a lot of guys from Holland, Serbia, Poland, sort of the best. So that definitely helped me out a lot. I was sending the film mainly for my international games.
So you're technically a grey-shirted freshman. Can you explain what grey shirting is?
Very short freshman is you're offered a scholarship during the season. I was offered my scholarship in September. I couldn't get a scholarship when I went out in the summer because they'd already handed out all the allocated scholarships of that summer. So basically, I was kind of put on a waiting list, and the earliest you can play, the earliest you can join a team is the year you're going to be playing in. So luckily, because I'd already graduated from high school, effectively, I finished sixth form a year before. I was able to come out this January and join in January 2012 ahead of the season. So I got a couple of months extra practice in. So I've gone through spring ball, got some extra training, and got my weight training down. So it's kind of put me a little bit ahead of the game for the freshmen that are actually going to be coming into my class in August or July even.
So can you run us through like your average week in Boise?
A practice week that we had in spring ball, so our spring practice is not our conditioning. We get up normally about 5:30, 6 a.m. on a Monday morning, go to meetings for about an hour and a half, do evaluation. We put an install in for the practice, so the plays we're going to get, we put them in our playbook, look through them with our coaches, run over what we're running through practice. That takes a long time, especially if you've just had a practice a day before. On a Monday, normally we don't, so we kind of just look through what we're going to install. We then go and get changed. We have a weightlifting session before we even practice, so we're in the weight room for an hour doing whatever the exercise may be. We focus a lot on the Olympic lifts, the kind of more athletic lifts. So we're doing power cleans, squats, bench press, everything is a real mix of whatever. And then we're in there for an hour. After that, we get half an hour. After that, to get changed, warm up for practice. So we get taped up, any treatment that we need. So a lot of the guys that may be injured or got niggles, they want to try and keep them in good condition. So they go to the trainers beforehand, for half an hour before practice, get taped up, see any treatment we need to do. Some guys like to listen to music, get pumped up before practice because they take it pretty seriously. So we like to kind of get in the zone for practice, get ready. We go out to practice at about, I think it's about 9:30, about that. Anywhere between 8:45 to 9:30. We get 2 hours of practice in. It's intense. We're practicing. We're not stopping running from the minute we get there to the minute we stop. The only time we're going to get is during team periods when you're not actually on the field of scrimmage. And we're done by about 11:30, 12 o'clock-ish. So it's a long day. You've already done a good 5-6 hours of work before we even go to school. So it's a long day. Tuesday, we'll just lift weights and do film review. Wednesday's the same as Monday. Thursday, again, it's just film review and lifting weights. Friday, we have a practice. And Saturday, we have a practice the same as we did Monday. So it's a pretty busy week.
Pretty intense by the sounds of it. So how do you reckon the practice differs from the UK? I know it's probably completely different, but is there anything in terms of the intensity and people's kind of attitude towards it?
If I was honest, I've had practices that have been much harder than any games I've ever played in my life. Every practice is, at the end of the day, you're competing. I mean, there's going to be this coming in this summer in August. There can be 18 defensive linemen and 4 starting positions. And if you do the math, it's not gonna work out great for everyone. There's gonna be some guys who aren't gonna get this playing time they want. So it's all about competing. That's the difference, I think. The tempo, everybody finishes everything. We're being encouraged to run everywhere. Everyone's actually, I'd have said, in a lot better shape. So you're actually able to run. I feel a lot better shape from the training I'm doing. Everyone's running everywhere. Really high energy practice. It doesn't matter how tired you are. You wake up somehow. If you don't wake up, it's going to get handed to you. So it's a lot more aggressive, full on. It's hard to explain. You have to really experience it, I think, to understand it or at least watch it. But it's nothing like I've experienced until I came to Boise. Yeah, it's just tough. It's just tough. It's a grind, and everyone's competing to try and get that job.
So Boise are famed for playing on blue turf. Does this affect you in any way? Do you like it? And we heard rumours that ducks actually die swooping onto the field thinking it's a lake.
Actually, as you come into the players' entrance, at the beginning of the facility, there's a big plaque that kind of it's got the myths and the facts on the blue, and it's a complete it's not recorded. No ducks actually have taken a dive onto the blue and broken their neck was known of because they thought it was a lake. I mean, I'm not sure you have to be a pretty dumb duck to do that. But no, playing on the surface, playing on the blue, it's first off, it's one of the greatest things you can do. I think it's the only blue field in America. There's a couple of other ones that people have kind of followed after, but it's an honour to play on it, and it doesn't affect you at all. Like, you don't notice it. You're so busy trying to make a play, you don't notice it's blue. It's kind of like playing basketball back at high school or whatever. You don't notice a difference at all. Sometimes basketball courts will play on like a green, red, whatever. Those are different ones. You just don't notice it. You're too busy trying to make plays to kind of pay attention to it. But at the same time, you know you're on there and you know what it stands for. And it stands for a lot more than just a blue field.
So you played in a Boise spring game recently. What was it like playing in front of thousands of fans?
It was great. I think that the record like the records the attendance was like 17,000 or something, not including students. So it was over 20,000, and that's only half the capacity of the stadium. It was crazy. And I mean, the most people I played in front of, I think, for football was 2,000 when I went to Serbia and played in the tournament there. And that was pretty good then, but it's like nothing I can compare. I can remember when I had my number called on and the coach just said, "You're up." I remember just running out into the field and I was like, wow, looking around like it's kind of like a dream come true, I guess. It's only a spring game, but it gave me a good taste of what's ahead. But it's like nothing I've ever experienced before. The fans are crazy. It's really, really loud, even with that amount of people there. But yeah, it was one of the greatest experiences of my life so far, and I think it's only going to get better, hopefully.
How do you think you did on the field?
I did pretty good. I wasn't on for many plays, but I got a tackle for a loss and CDB pressure off about 5 or 6 plays I think I had. So I think I showed up. I did pretty well. I did much better than I'd have hoped to do. So that's the main thing. But yeah, it went pretty well. Defense lost last minute on the last play of the game. Actually, unfortunately, we keep a running score. The defense would score by getting threes and outs, picks, stuff like that. But yeah, the defense did well. I did pretty well as well, I think. So yeah, it was pretty.